This video is all about colour. Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Every single Wednesday I upload a new video all about how to use your sewing machine or simple sewing tips and tricks. So guys, I am pulling my artistic vibe today because we can actually learn from artists as quilters. Another useful tool about how to understand colour is grabbing one of these. You can print one off the internet. This one actually came with a red plexiglass, and it tells you all about the tones of the colours, like the value of a colour, and I'll touch on values of colours a little bit later. So let's dive into colours. So I just want to share with you a little story, and this is not a bash on the person and it's not a bash on the fabric store. Just want to share the story. So I was just browsing around and there was a lady there and she was wanting to make her quilt. So they'd selected like a main colour and she didn't understand how to put other colours together in order to make her quilt. So she was having the lady like help her. Yep, hands up. I will put my hands up first and say I have been there and done that. But I think that if you understand how colours work and complement each other, then you should go to the store and use that as part of the process. That is part of the quilt making process. So anyway, this lady basically just handed all of that over to the sales assistant in order to get colours that like went with each other, because she obviously didn't understand, and there was like no how much do you want to spend or anything like that. It was just like they were just shooting for these colours, and by the time she went to the till, I think it cost us something like 400 Canadian dollars, which I thought was quite a lot, like, because when you're making a quilt you got to like put in like a budget factor as well as what you like. So you really do have to plan ahead when you're looking into making a quilt. So I really think that if this lady understood how to put colours together, she could have made that all of her choice and all of her own work. Like now she has a quilt that basically has been put together by somebody else's opinion. That's my opinion, but I think she would have done a better job if she would have spent some time at the quilt store. Like, factor going to the quilt store as part of the process of creating your quilt. It's part of the fun. Like, put the fun into going to the store and grabbing and finding fabric. Don't be ashamed about being in the store for like an hour or an hour and a half. Get to know the sales assistants. Just get to know people. Like, make it part of that social community vibe of the quilting process. So I'm going to let you into a secret. Come here. All this information is probably in every single quilt book you have ever purchased, aka the boring section. So understanding colour is basically a term called colour theory. That's the terminology for it. So you have primary, secondary and tertiary colours. I've probably said that last one wrong. Sorry, pronunciation is terrible. I know, you feel like you're five again, but bear with me. Okay, we have primary colours, yellow, blue, red. So we have secondary colours, which are formed by mixing the primary colours, which are green, orange and purple. And we have the tertiary colours that are created by mixing the primary and the second colours together. You are never going to see white, black or grey on the colour wheel because they are considered as neutral colours. I consider them to be harsh colours. They stand out way too much in a quilt, so I always kind of stay away from them, apart from when I'm thread painting, because I like the thread to stand out in my work. Now you have your warm colours, which are your reds, oranges and yellows, and you have your cool colours, which are your blues, greens and your violets. And you can tint them shades, and you can make them like an ombre effect or just make them lighter or darker. So on this wheel it gives you like colour harmonies or like complementary colours. So if you don't know what colour complements orange, for example, orange is complemented by blue. So if you did a blue and an orange quilt, it's going to be such a fantastic contrast to look at. So there are triad colours. So they go like in a triangle, like the term suggests. So if I point it like this, if you were to use a yellow, a pink and a blue, that would look awesome on your quilt. However, you want to make sure that the value of colours are going to be complementary for each other, because if you use a triad and you use like a pale pink and a pale blue and then a really vibrant yellow, the yellow is going to stand out on your quilt so much more. So make sure when you use a triad that if you don't want one colour to physically pop out, then make sure it's in the same value of colours. Okay, so the next one is the my next one is the split complementary of colours, and it's the hardest one for you to actually screw up. So if you're wanting to create a quilt, base it on split complementary colours and you're going to be very successful. So let's work it from here. Let me get this angle right. So split complementary is this direction, so it would be green, blue and red. Okay, I almost forgot to tell you about the colour value. What does the colour value mean? So let's say, for argument's sake, you have loads of different shades of red. So the different shades of red are the different values of red. So you may have a light red, or you could have a really deep, deep red. So the value is where you can select the tone of the colour. So you'll have the lighter red, a medium red and a darker red. So that's the colour value, and you can still do that using like different colours within your quilt. So if you've got like greys, yellows and reds, just example, you can get the values of all of them different colours and put your lights, your mediums and your darks together in order to create a more appealing looking quilt. And don't forget that colours have meanings to people. Like, there's a whole meaning behind colours on the internet that you can search. It's so interesting. Like, green is normally about nature, and yellow is always about like sunshine and happy, and orange is like confidence. Have I given you some food for thought when it comes to colours and creating your quilts and having much more fun with it and getting away from them pre-made blocks that are already cut out for you? Let me know in them comments down below. And don't forget, enjoy the learning, get excited about the process and have fun creating your work. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe so you don't miss seeing me next week. And bye!